8 months after Vicky Sims gave the manuscript for her book, titled Baralusica and the Dark Iron Maiden, to Vicky Jones, the movie based on the book is completed and released, and the book itself is also published at the same time. Vicky Sims and Paul Jenkins traveled to Los Angeles to attend the movie's grand premiere.
Isn't this amazing? I'm thinking maybe we should move here later and I could be a writer for Hollywood movies full-time.
But what about your plans to be a UU minister? Are you giving that up?
Well, my reason for being a minister was to help others. But I think I could also be a good influence as a creator of stories that become world famous.
As long as your motives are pure, Vicky. Well, look who's here.
What's wrong, Georgia? Aren't you nervous too, Jennifer? It was one thing when we played in the Blazing Beauty show with our friend Vicky Jones. We created the parts of Hermine Benson and Lucy Conrad for ourselves. Now we are playing parts in someone else's story. What if Vicky Sims hates what we did? Well, she's here, so we will find out soon enough. Now come.
So, did I keep my word? You certainly did. This is exactly how I would have done it.
Your father should be here soon with the money to free you. If he doesn't arrive, you will have only 1 more hour to live.
Well, that doesn't look like my father coming now.
What? Dark Iron Maiden, you're kidnapping the governor's daughter has you on the radar of law enforcement agencies everywhere. Surrender now. How about I kick your behind all over the place, Beryl? You were a wimp in high school, and I will prove you a wimp again. Your overconfidence was always your weakness. People who don't learn from their mistakes will always fail. Enjoy your time in prison. Sure, I underestimated you, Baralusica. Next time, I will kill you.
The studio offered me the role of the superhero, but I refused it after Mrs. Jones told me you intended the superhero to be black. She instead demanded they hire Jennifer Gaines instead for the lead role. Thank you for doing the right thing, Laura. Oh, and how are you and Suzanne doing these days? I thought she'd be here. She is laid up with pneumonia right now. She is getting more sickly as she gets older, but at least she is still alive. She once told me a story involving time travel and meeting people from the future, but I will save that for later. So Texas has passed a law banning any marriage in which one or both of the couple are below the age of 18. Does that mean my marriage to Carrie is now illegal? We got married the month before our 16th birthdays. No, your marriage was done a decade ago, long before this new law was passed, so your marriage is valid. This law is to protect future generations. I almost refused your and Carrie's request to get married when you did, but I finally gave in because I saw how mature you already were and how devoted you were to Carrie. Most teens are not like you were. Especially girls. Most teens who get married are girls who are forced by their parents and other elders to marry much older men, and then they are reduced to breeding machines for the next generation, and thus deprived of opportunities for a better life through education and a career. Think about what happened to Mary, the woman your father was going to marry before they and all her children were murdered. Or what could have happened to Deborah Belmont when she got pregnant with those triplets. Exactly. There is nothing moral about forcing girls to be sex slaves, Debbie. Such marriages are legalized rape. Mother, even if you had insisted I wait until I and Carrie were 18, I would have obeyed you and waited. As you once said, being willing to wait until you are older is a sign of maturity. And I will tell Richard and Diana Hudson that they should wait too, because true love is all about being patient and making sure all is right before making such a commitment.